Well, as we indicated a few minutes ago, we're kind of running out of superlatives to describe this stretch of weather.
We are, yeah, it's been great. We've got basically one chance of a shower, it looks like, over the next 7 days. And even that isn't a lock. So, yeah, I mean, this is a minor downside, but like, I don't know what to do. I always thought about this, like I've never had a job where the weather is easy the whole time. I don't think I could do it. I couldn't do it, yeah, because I would just get too bored. You guys would hate it, because I'd just be walking around, well,
talking to everybody.
Yes.
Well, what makes you think we like you when the weather's stormy?
Yeah, well, and I'm a little quieter. I'm in the corner over there a little bit longer, you know. 72 for a high in Portland today, 73 in Sanford, 67 in Bangor. Pleasant day. We did have some mid-level cloudiness in about the middle of the day, particularly just away from the coastlines and into the mid-coast, but that's all gone, so we're in good shape through the rest of today. It is worth noting, first sub 7 p.m. sunset in Portland is tonight, which is a big thumbs down. Yeah, I agree with you guys there. But the rest of the afternoon into the early evening looks good. Tonight, temperatures down into the 40s. We've got some 30s maybe briefly early tomorrow morning. I don't think there's a lot of that going on, though. Tomorrow is a bright day, probably more consistently sunny than today. In the mid-70s in a lot of spots, maybe kicking a southeast wind in the afternoon in places like Rockland and Bar Harbor. Down into the 50s, a couple of 40s again tomorrow night. And then Thursday looks good. The models originally had more low 80s around for temperatures. Now they backed off a little. As I mentioned before, I'm not entirely sure why that is. So I think we'll end up in the upper 70s or so for most of us on Thursday afternoon. We'll call it partly cloudy there, looking good. First half of the day on Friday, nice, and then a front comes through. And you see this Friday, 2 p.m., this is the front coming through. I mean, there's not a lot of action here, right? Just a couple of scattered showers. And that's the only real weather maker we have over the next 7 days is this front. But the front really is a dissipating cold front as it moves through. That's what the little lines and the spaces between it mean. And so it just has some scattered showers in northern Maine and the mountains. The coasts, a lot of us, I think, will end up dry even on Friday, and then another high builds in over the weekend, and we just keep cruising from there on out. Got a lot of questions about this, and rightly so. I mean, it feels like we would be having issues, but so far no drought anywhere in the state. I would imagine Thursday when they update this, we might see a little abnormally dry sneak in, but we do have some in the bank from the summer. This was not really a dry summer. It was a hot summer. It wasn't really all that dry. So we've got a little room to play here. That being said, looks pretty dry going forward for a while. Just so you know, Francine's still down here in the Gulf of Mexico, likely to be a Cat 1 hurricane, make landfall in Louisiana tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. So if we miss this shower, if you miss this shower on Friday, you're going, it's another 7 days with dry weather. And even there, basically through next Thursday, I feel pretty good that we won't have any real rain. So it's a question of whether or not we'll catch something late next week that could give us some actual rain until then. And this is fortuitous for me. We're working on a project in my house. We're in the roof phase right now. Sure. Unbelievable.
Good
like
timing.
You don't even, they're putting like a tarp down, but I'm like,
You'll be fine.
Yeah, like it's all right. So you get some projects done. It's good.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Keith.